Draft 2021 presented by State Farm. Tonight, 36 young women watch their professional dreams come true. Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, standing by in New York, ready to announce the first round picks. And here's how the first round looks on our board. Dallas, the first team ever to hold the first and second overall picks in their war room. They are getting ready to go.
With the first pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Charlie Collier from the University of Texas.
As expected, Charlie Collier goes first. The 6'5" post player has a WNBA-ready frame. Averaged 19 points, 11 rebounds per game this past season. Can finish strong inside, a good rebounder. Also has a really nice stroke out to the three-point line. Shot 33% from three in her career.
And two other things really helped Charlie Collier: upside and work ethic. I mean, you can see that there's a lot of talent and offensive development that can still happen with Charlie, but she does have the body. And in terms of her work ethic, I mean, she has really focused on extending her range, becoming more versatile, and we saw the impact of this season. No surprise to any of us that Charlie Collier is number one.
Two-time first-team All-Big 12 player, one of 6 players in Division I to average at least 19 points and 10 rebounds. Charlie Collier is the first overall pick, and she is with Holly Rowe.
With the second pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Awak, Kuier from Finland.
Awak Kuier, 6'5", 19-year-old from Finland, might be the most pro-ready big in the draft. Yes, only 19, but she has been competing against pros in international play. She's just an impressive athlete, great wingspan, can block shots, can handle in the open floor. She has mid-range game, can just do a little bit of everything, and she's still developing her game, Rebecca. Just a really impressive athlete all the way around.
Yeah, by far the highest ceiling in the draft, has the upside to be a star long-term. She runs like a deer, has really good hands, terrific bounce around the basket, can drive from the high post. Not only can she dunk with one hand, she can dunk with two with her length. She has range out to three, but with this young 19-year-old, it's all about potential.
Plays in the Italian League, had a game earlier today, raced from the end of that game to get to her draft setup.
With the third pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Atlanta Dream select Aari McDonald, University of Arizona.
How about the 5'6" dynamo from Arizona, the Pac-12 Player of the Year, co-defensive Player of the Year, averaged over 20 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 4 assists. So quick off the dribble, can create her own shot and shots for others. Relentless defender, best defensive guard in the draft. Top-level speed, LaChina, from baseline to baseline.
Yeah, I had some GMs and coaches say she plays angry, and they love it. The heart, the relentlessness, the toughness that she shows on both ends. She just has a will to win. When she touches the floor, whether it's starting a game or coming off of the pine, you will know it, because Aari McDonald is a dog. What a season she had.
The first ever Arizona player to become a first-round selection in the WNBA draft. You know, Adia Barnes, her outstanding head coach, has got to be pumped, as well as all the fans of the Wildcats after their historic run to the national title game. Aari McDonald just became a star, and now,
with the fourth pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Kuier from West Virginia University.
Kuier, a lefty, 20 points per game in the Big 12 at West Virginia. really can score the ball at all three levels. She faced so many different defenses in conference play, but no one could stop her. She can step behind the screen. She has a nice hezzy, really efficient from three-point land, but she is a fighter who can run the point guard spot and is a true leader.
Yeah, this is certainly a surprise for me for Gondrzek to go here to Indiana, but she is a 5'9" guard with a really strong frame, can absorb contact, can finish inside. She said LaChina, she is good at creating her own shot, has a nice step-back move. She'll be a nice fit and will play defense for the Indiana Fever.
Highest drafted West Virginia player in WNBA history. Previous high, Bria Holmes, who was picked number 11 in 2016. But Kaiser Gondrzek is the 4th overall pick headed to the Indiana Fever.
With the 5th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Chelsea Dungy from the University of Arkansas.
Chelsea Dungy, the SEC's leading scorer at over 22 points a game. She is a floor spacer who can get to the free throw line. Just under 6 free throw attempts a game. Has a swagger, a toughness, a confidence, high volume, but her efficiency will get there. This is a young woman who will score and get trips to the line.
Yeah, Rebecca, just a flat-out scorer. Excellent quickness, great ball handler, has the ball on a yo-yo, can create space off of the bounce with a variety of moves, can score at all levels, crafty at the rim, and as you mentioned, can get to the free throw line. Would be great in a system where she can play fast and get up and down the floor, likes the contact. And Chelsea Dungy headed to Dallas.
Only Arkansas player ever on one of the 3 AP All-American teams, was a 3rd-team All-American this past season. 1st-team All-SEC, and now is with Holly Rowe.
With the 6th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the New York Liberty select Michaela Onyenwere from UCLA.
Michaela Onyenwere might be the most powerful, explosive wing in the WNBA draft. I just love how she can get to the rim, create contact, can also handle in the open floor. She's developed a three-point shot, which is going to be very important because she will not be able to play the 4, I don't think, in the WNBA, though in Walt Hopkins' system she possibly could, but she's actually a 3, and as she develops her playmaking ability and her ball handling, she's going to be even better.
Yeah, one of the best athletes in the draft. She's got a nice turnaround jumper. She can guard multiple positions, and that's what Walt Hopkins likes. He wants to be able to switch 2 through 4. She's got a good-looking shot. She could be a solid three-point shooter in time. New York wanted depth in the front court. They got it.
Onyenwere 3 times on the All-Pac-12 first team, 2nd this past season in the Pac-12 in scoring. She is 4th on UCLA's all-time scoring list and was a total stud in high school in Colorado, where she was the 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year, and she.
With the 7th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Jasmine Walker from the University of Alabama.
Jasmine Walker, the 6'3" post player from Alabama, but what teams were most excited about when it came to her is she could be one of the best pure shooters in the draft. Shot 40% from the three-point line. She is an elite shooter. Premier skill set. If she steps outside, can extend the defense from this 4 spot, drain it, little bit of a pull-up, can finish inside as well with a high release, but her biggest value is as a great, efficient three-point shooter.
Yeah, her ceiling is so high. This is a young woman that only averaged 6 points per game in her first season, 19 points per game. In the tough SEC, it's hard to come across points, but you're absolutely right. It's her shooting ability, but it's also her upside. She will need to increase her pace of play, however, to keep up with LA.
With the 8th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Shyla Heel from Australia.
Guess what Shyla Heel is, Rye?
Point guard.
She's a point guard. She's a competitive point guard, one who can score. She's really good in the pick and roll, scores off the dribble, shoots threes. She's played professionally. In the Australian League, which includes Liz Cambage, Leilani Mitchell. So she's played against professional players, has played for her national team. This is a player who will be able to come in, learn from Sloot, and really help the Chicago Sky.
Well, I heard from the Hall of Famer Lauren Jackson herself that this young Australian is dynamite. She said she's a fighter, reminds me of myself when I came to the U.S. to play in the WNBA. She just refused to be denied, has a leadership attitude, and can make plays when needed. And anytime Lauren Jackson says it's good, it is good for me.
Well, Shyla Heel, Liz Cambage, Lauren Jackson. Those are the three Australians who have been selected in the top 10 of the WNBA draft.
With the 9th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Renaya Davis from the University of Tennessee.
Renaya Davis, a player many thought would go in the top 5 of this draft, a 6'2" wing. She can step out and also post up as a 4 player, runs the floor well, is very good on the defensive end of the floor, has a smooth offensive game, can pull up off the dribble, finish at the rim. Here it is, the big guard who can post. She gets to the glass as well. Just under 9 rebounds a game, 17 points a game at Tennessee. The one area she needs to become a little bit more consistent is the 3-point line.
Yeah, Renaya Davis is one of the players that if you had to pick them out of a lineup, you would say she's a WNBA player. I mean, she has a pro body in terms of her length, her wingspan. She can defend multiple positions. And I really like her going to Minnesota because on top of her pure athleticism and ability, Cheryl Reeve is going to put her in positions to be successful and is going to refine her skill set.
Renaya Davis, one of 4 players in Lady Vol history. Think about the program we're talking about here.
With the 10th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Stephanie Watts from the University of North Carolina.
So Stephanie Watts, the 10th overall pick, the 5'11" guard from UNC, becomes Derek Fisher's 2nd pick of this first round.
Yeah, this is a surprise to me to be in the first round, but she definitely fits what LA wants to do. Again,
with the 11th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Aaliyah Wilson from Texas A&M.
Aaliyah Wilson, 5'11" guard from Texas A&M, so you know she knows how to defend. She's got an explosive mid-range game, can go and get her own shot, can get to the rim. Gary Blair once said she is our best perimeter defender, so a player that can really bother you on that end of the floor. And another surprise.
With the 12th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Las Vegas Aces select Ileana Rupert from France.
Ileana Rupert, a 19-year-old from France, mature for her age. She's a post player, a traditional 5. She's got a nice, strong frame. She can finish going right hand or left, has hook shots right and left hands. Gets it done inside. This is a player who could potentially come over this season or could be a player for the future for Vegas.
Yeah, it just reminds me of what they have in the post, honestly, in terms of a player that just absorbs contact, likes the physicality. Again, we keep talking about these international players that are already pros, so they're not over there playing zone like a lot of college players. They know how to come out and defend, and Rupert is a big that has a lot of respect in the international game.
Well, I've already made 3 selections tonight. They have the first pick of the 2nd round, and with the 13th overall pick, the Dallas Wings have selected Dana Evans out of Louisville.
Dana Evans, ACC Player of the Year, not once but twice. She's a playmaker. She has unlimited three-point range, very explosive. She can defend on the ball with ball pressure. She can also shoot the gap and get steals. Her first step is just incredible. A player that went from 6th Player of the Year, waited her turn, developed, and really Louisville would not have had the season that they had without Dana. She is so clutch in late game situations.
Yeah, 20 points a game, just under 4 assists a game, can score at all 3 levels, has range on her 3, great in the mid-range game. And as you said, LaChina, a clutch player, not afraid of the moment, and she came up in some big ones throughout the course of the season this year for Louisville.
Felt like there were just so many times where you'd see the Louisville offense get stagnant late in the fourth quarter, and then boom, Dana Evans, 3, 4, 5 possessions in a row would hit a massive shot. Just an incredible career at Louisville from absolutely Holly, and you could see the excitement from the Evans family. Congratulations to them. We have a trade here. Seattle, who selected Aaliyah Wilson with the 11th overall pick, has completed a trade with Indiana. Seattle receives Kennedy Burke. Aaliyah Wilson ends up with the Fever. What do you think, Rebecca?
I think it's interesting.
The 14th pick of the WNBA draft is in, and the Las Vegas Aces have selected Destiny Slocum out of Arkansas.
Las Vegas, a team that could use a backup point guard, and Destiny Slocum is a really good one. She can thrive in the running game or in half court. She is an efficient guard, shot 48% from the field, 40% from 3. She takes care of the basketball, delivers it to teammates. Coming from a system where they like to run and gun, she didn't have to be the #1 option, but found teammates who could be. I like Destiny Slocum for Vegas.
Yeah, she keeps the ball moving. I mean, she's a player that can find angles on passes, and I just like that she can touch the paint whenever she gets ready. It's really hard to keep her out of the middle of the floor, so she will be looking to get her teammates involved, and learning from Chelsea Gray isn't a bad position either.
Not at all. There's so much talent there in Vegas. It's going to be really interesting to see how Bill Laimbeer pieces it all together as the Aces try and get over the hump and overall pick. And the pick is in with the 15th overall selection. The Atlanta Dream have selected Raquel Carrera, a center out of Spain. So the 6'2 center, Raquel Carrera, joins the Atlanta Dream.
This is a player who plays in Italy right now. She's got good face-up range, can screen and separate, runs the floor, 39% from the three-point line. So probably a pick for the future for Atlanta.
Just really shocking to me, honestly.
We have the 16th pick of the WNBA draft in. And with the 16th selection of the 2021 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Natasha Mack, forward out of Oklahoma State.
I really enjoyed watching Natasha Mack dominate on the defensive end this season. She was the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, just had incredible wingspan, 7 foot, and can bother shots, can deflect shots, can contest shots, can change the way you want to run your offense. And she's still growing in her offensive skill set, but you see the potential at 6'4". She does have a nice touch and is continuing to get better. This is a player that only played at the Power 5 level for 2 seasons. So you can imagine if she continues to play against a high level of competition, how good she could be at the WNBA. I love her upside, Rebecca.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the key word here is she has a great upside because of her ability to run the floor. She's tall, she's long, she rebounds, she will roll in the pick and roll, she will help protect the rim.
Round continues in just a moment as we take a look at some of the best reactions from the night. Charlie Collier taking #1 over. In the New York Liberty have selected D.D. Richards out of Baylor.
Just an outstanding elite defender. She was the National Defensive Player of the Year last season, and D.D. Richards at 6'2" can guard anywhere on the floor, and she just moves her feet so well, very mobile. And this is where she really developed, is her ability to read the floor, her basketball IQ. She had to step into the point guard spot this year for Kim Mulkey's team, and she was dynamic in the assist category, limiting the turnovers and really running Baylor's offensive show.
Didi Richards averaged 6.3 points a game. Didi Richards averaged 6.3 assists per game. She is looking to get her teammates going. And as you said, LaChina, a really good defender.
Defending champion Seattle Storm have selected Kiana Williams, guard from Stanford.
Kiana Williams led Stanford to a national championship just a few weeks ago. 14 points a game, 3 assists per game. Plays a lot of minutes, a high usage guard. She's got deep range on her three. She's good in the pick and roll. Played in a system where she was able to find teammates for easy looks. Seattle, a team that needed some depth at the point guard position. This is a good choice.
Yeah, Williams is a pure floor general. I mean, knows how to run the show, understands how to get all of her teammates involved and keep everyone happy, which you will need to with all the talent Seattle has. But she's just a throwback, a pass-first point guard, always poised, plays very under control. Another player that we got to see really shine during the NCAA tournament.
Well, Kiana Williams, a national championship, and now gets selected by the defending champs. Kiana is with Holly. Jake Thompson, forward out of Auburn, and with the 20th pick of the 2021 WNBA draft, the Connecticut Sun have selected Dejanay Carrington, guard out of Baylor.
Yeah, Kurt Miller was hoping that some players would drop down, and Dejanay Carrington is one we thought may go early second, late first. But she is just an outstanding player. She's fought through some injuries to get her explosiveness, her athleticism. She can score at all 3 levels, but it's her defense, her toughness, her relentlessness. Her father played in the NFL, and she plays with that kind of physicality to her game, and just a really impressive player that, again, raised her stock in the NCAA tournament.
You heard Holly Rowe talking to Kiana Williams about not necessarily where you go, but it being the right fit. If you're going to go in the second round, you want to go to the Connecticut Sun because they do have 2 roster spots that you can fight for in camp. Dejanay Carrington is a player that could fit them nicely. They lost Bria Holmes in the offseason to free agency. She can be a D&3 kind of player. Connecticut needs some firepower, additional firepower from the three-point line.
Yeah, we've talked about this draft having, and we'll conclude our second round. At 21, the Connecticut Sun taking Michaela Kelly out of Central Michigan. Los Angeles at 22. Finally, we do see Arella Garantes going from Rutgers to L.A. Seattle chooses India Jones, the forward from Texas A&M, and out of Arizona, Trinity Baptiste, fresh off a trip to the national championship game, goes to the Indiana Fever. The first round, you see the first 12 selections of the 2021 WNBA draft. Charlie Collier, the #1 overall pick of tonight's draft, headed to the Dallas Wings, and Holly Rowe with some more on Charlie. An absolutely incredible story, and one of the stories that's the foundation of what has been an unforgettable 25 years of WNBA basketball. We look forward to 25 more. Of round number 3 are in New York, selecting Valerie Higgins, a guard out of Pacific. At number 26, Indiana takes Chelsea Perry out of UT Martin. Atlanta drafts Lindsey Pulliam out of Northwestern. The Los Angeles Sparks draft Ivana Ratza from Wake Forest, China Robinson School. At 29, the New York Liberty take Marine Faltu, a guard from France, and Connecticut selects Aaliyah Goodman, a guard out of Oregon State, for the 30th pick of the 2021 WNBA draft. Now, we've had commissioner of the WNBA. The final picks of the third round are in. Florencia Chagas, a guard out of Argentina, goes to Indiana. Shigra Johnson goes to Phoenix. Indiana selects Maya Caldwell. Los Angeles takes Ana Ayuso from Spain. Seattle takes Natalie Kukowski out of Lafayette. And Las Vegas takes Kiana Jeter out of Towson. You know, one team that we haven't talked about thus far tonight, the Phoenix Mercury. You know, this is a team that still has a lot of great talent there. Obviously, Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Skylar Diggins-Smith. And while they did not select until the third round tonight, they're always a team that you know could factor into the championship equation at some point if things break right.
Yeah, they